Hey, I am coming back. It's 11 on Monday morning, and we're continuing our series with overcoming overwhelm. So, all through the end of March, I'll continue talking. So, what we've already discussed in other lives is you're here for a reason. Who's in the driver's seat? Last week, I talked about how your past is messing with your business, whether you know it or not, and what that looks like, and how to change it, how to shift it. And today, I'm going to share a story about what it looks like to get to the root of an issue so you can get real results. And then in the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about fear, how to overcome fear, getting rid of the shoulds, right? All the things we think we should do until people tell us we should do, and all the things that are overwhelming. And then confidence, how to quit second guessing ourselves when we make decisions. So I'm going to be talking about all of that. And today, this story, I'm sharing a client story. I'm going to change her name for privacy. But when we have money blocks, it's completely overwhelming, right? In our life and our business, when there isn't enough money, I don't know many things that are more stressful and more emotional and more can be overwhelming when we feel like I'm doing all the right things and I'm not making forward progress. I'm not making as much as I should. So today is a story about getting to the root of an issue, but it's specifically about money. So there's a couple things. When you want to change a behavior, when you want to have more peace, when you want to be more confident, when you want to feel like I keep saying, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, everything is good, when you want to have those relationships the way you want, your business the way you want, you need to understand the things that are stopping you. And instead of wasting a lot of time trying to change things and being frustrated and not getting results, you want to get real results. So I'm going to share what that looks like. Like I said, today it's specifically around money, but it applies to anything. So I'm going to share, there's a quote I really like by Henry David Thoreau. It said, for every 1,000 people hacking at the branches of evil, there's one striking at the root. And I'm not talking about evil, but it really applies to mindset as well. And it applies to if you have ever, like when I was trying to change in my past, I spent years reading things, talking about things, trying exercises, doing mantras, doing affirmations, all these things. And it felt exactly like that. Like I was hacking at a lot of branches and a lot of symptoms and a lot of things that I was doing by focusing on trying to stop them. And it sometimes made it worse. And a lot of times I got nowhere. And, when you're hacking at branches, what are you actually doing? You're pruning them. So sometimes, like I said, it gets worse because you're focusing on that and it can be super frustrating. So what does it look like to get to the root? And as I'm looking down, I'm just checking to see if there's comments. I'm going to share a story of a client and we're going to call her Pam to protect her privacy. And so Pam came because she was in real estate and she was watching her colleagues do the same exact activities, the same exact actions, and they were making more sales than her. She was making sales, but they were surpassing her. And she knew, like, it's got to be something with my mindset. There's got to be some root here because I'm doing all the right stuff. And so she wanted to come and work on that with me. And so what we did is we looked at the root. And so for all of us, like I mentioned last week, all of our meaning, the things when we think of a word or an idea, when we think of business, when we think of relationships, when we think of love, when we think of money, the meaning that we got and the programs, I call them, happened before we were 7 or 10 years old. And that happened for her too. So she's wanting to, make as much money as her colleagues in real estate. And she's not. So we have to figure out what's going on. What's the meaning? What's the glitch here? And one of the things that came up for her was she was 7 years old and wanted to have a lemonade stand. And I find that for a lot of business owners, they did something when they were little. They're selling toys, they're doing garage sales, they're doing lemonade stands. Like it's a gift you have and it's in you. So that's what she did. So her parents bought her the supplies for the lemonade stand. And she set up shop and was selling lemonade. She was super excited all day long. She's making some sales. I'm seeing the money stack up and getting super excited about it, really proud of herself. And at the end of the day, her parents took the money and said, we have to pay for the supplies. And she's 7. So she has no idea about profit margins. And, in my opinion, and probably you too, the parents shouldn't have done that. They should have let her keep the money, or at least some of it, but they took it all. And she got really upset, which is also really normal. And when she got upset, she's complaining, saying, no, I earned that money. I want that money. What they did, set in place a program. And they said, you're being greedy. You're being bad for wanting the money. And what she learned in that moment, this isn't hugely traumatic, right? This is a lemonade stand. It's nothing major, but she's making meaning out of it. And from that and a couple other instances that we looked at, finding the root, she got this root. She got this program and this very powerful belief. I'm bad for wanting money. It's greedy to want money, and I'm greedy if I want money, right? So she's showing up with those other realtors with that belief. So she's doing all the same activities and actions, and she's not getting the results because that is stopping her. So what we did was change the belief. And we all know this, like money isn't good or bad, right? A lot of us downloaded this belief that money is evil. And there's a Bible verse that says a root of, that the love of money is the root of all evil. That's a difference. And so we changed it. So Pam had a little boy, a 2-year-old little boy she wanted to support. So she was going to use the money to give him a good life and support him. And also, I really believe, like I said, that being an entrepreneur is a gift, and she could use that. She had this drive and this ability and this want to make money. And we switched it to it's good. I want to provide for my little boy. I want to provide a good life for me and him. That's good. And we switched it to that money is good. I'm going to use this money for good. I'm going to use this money to help him have good experiences and to have joy in life and stuff, right? So when we did that, we switched that old belief. We got that old root that I'm greedy and I'm bad for wanting money. We removed that. And she contacted me 2 months later, and she had quadrupled her income, because now she could show up to those sales and she was free to make money because there's nothing wrong with it. And she was free to support her little boy. She was free to have a good life, right? Because we got to the root of it. And it's a powerful thing when we do this. And it's really powerful to understand that even if things aren't very traumatic, sometimes people do have traumatic experiences with abuse or, loss and things like that. But we're learning the meaning. We're learning how relationships work. We're learning if we're safe. We're learning how money works when we're little. And when you operate at the root and change it, you just take it out and then you can get results. She was able to get results very quickly because she changed on that level. And when I work with clients, that's what we do. But I want to share with you, like I've been doing each week, some questions that you can ask so that you can begin to do this on your own. And again, March 29th, I'm going to have a worksheet, and we're going to be talking more about this, how your mind works, and activities and tools that you can have and do to be able to change your mind in a powerful way instead of spending all that time being frustrated, trying to change behaviors and getting nowhere. You can work with your mind, with your subconscious to get powerful results. So a few questions you can ask yourself today, right away, that'll be helpful. And I'm just going to check again for, see if there's any comments or questions so that I can answer anything if there are, is where is this coming from? So let's say, maybe for you, it isn't money, but you're getting really angry around a relationship, or you're procrastinating, or you're not showing up the way you want, or you're second guessing all your decisions, right? So you can ask, where is this coming from? And just sit and listen and see what comes up. And then the second question that you can ask is, what is the meaning my mind has made around this, right? So for Pam, I'm showing up, I'm doing all the activities, and I'm not making sales. And when we ask, what is the meaning my mind has made around this? Money's bad and I'm greedy, right? That's what she had decided from those past experiences. It's very common. And then the last thing is to ask, what meaning do I want going forward? And this is a powerful thing to be like, okay, I'm not 7 anymore. I'm not doing that lemonade stand anymore. I want money to be good in her case, right? And we can decide and ask this powerful question. Again, our brains are inquiry based. They respond to questions in powerful ways. They're like Google. What's the meaning I want going forward? And sit and see what comes up. And then also, how do you decide how you want that to be? Decide what you'd like to have moving forward. What would you like money to mean? What would you like relationships to mean? What would you like to have your behavior as moving forward, right? So let me know in the comments what come up for answers for you to any of those questions. Let me know what you think about getting to the root of an issue. Let me know if you spent lots of time, like I had in my life, tons of time, wasting time trying to hack at the symptoms and behaviors, or what I thought it was, or surface level things. Just let me know if you have any questions about all of this. And I'm going to leave the link to the March 29th workshop in the comments. And also, if you know, like, this is what I need, I've got something in my life, I'm really frustrated, I'm held back, I'm totally stuck, I need to work on this, just send me a message. I would love to talk about that, see if I have any advice or anything like that for you. And I hope that you have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you next week.